Alrighty guys, gonna try and do this in one solid take. We are back on the Summoner's Rift, bringing to you Team Cloud versus Team Mountain. Team Cloud, Jenkins on that Aatrox, Obese Panda back on the Camille, 5Fire on the Galio, and the Xayah Braum bot lane. Over on Team Mountain, we've got Fake God on the Kennen, Fragus on the Olaf, Soligo on LeBlanc, and the bot lane of Braum and Rakan. I'm sorry, Lucian and Rakan. First things noted, they split up the Lucian Braum, outstanding, and they brought in the Olaf pick to kind of get back line through all of that CC. So let's go ahead and jump right into the game. Again, notable matchups that we're going to be looking at is the very, very safe mid lane that we should see coming from this Galio into the LeBlanc, hoping to see some roams for her to make sure that she can get things going for herself, if not in the mid lane. And then again, we've got the lovers duo being split, as well as the Lucian Braum being split. So taking away two very strong lanes. Lucian coming down, shooting in his Ardent Blaze just to get some vision on that bot Tribush there. You can see both teams are setting up, kind of creating that line of scrimmage, just making sure that nobody's doing anything crazy, nobody's doing anything sneaky coming in to the jungle before minions spawn here. We should see some wards coming out, teams trying to get vision. Lucian going to come down, another Ardent Blaze onto that Xayah. No damage, no love lost there. No harm, no foul, just a little bit of poke. She should heal that up. Camille is going to be coming down to that bot side, as well, or Olaf as well coming down. Going to get that leash from their bot lane. LeBlanc distorts in to get a little bit of damage onto the Galio. The Galio coming in with the Winds of War, trying to get some poke back, not able to find it. And these mid laners go to war. They start the farm war. Olaf not actually taking a leash here. Another distortion coming in, getting some damage. The electrocute damage coming out onto Galio. A nice little chunk. You can see Olaf here not needing a leash from his bot lane, which is actually going to allow his bot lane to be a little bit ahead, get that experience lead, and shove this lane here. See the Winter's Bite coming out, poking down Lucian just a tad. Ardent Blaze, both teams kind of just trading poke back and forth. Olaf choosing not to go from the bottom Scuttle Crab, and Camille is going to secure that top Scuttle Crab while walking over a ward. They should have some idea. It looks like they don't have any idea, actually, that Camille is going to be taking this red buff, but Olaf is finding his way over as some poke damage comes down. The Darkened Blade's doing a good amount of damage here to this Kennen up here. MD Kennen in the top lane. Olaf is finally hip to the red buff going down, and Camille just hook shots away after the Undertow. The flash afterwards, the Sigil of Malice coming out. Kennen also collapses, trying to get the stun here. No stun. The Undertow, 2 stacks here on Kennen's passive. Another Undertow, another auto from LeBlanc, and Camille goes down. The follow-up there. They really wanted that red buff. They weren't going to let that go, and Olaf is actually going to punish here by taking some of that topside jungle away from that Camille. But the Darkened Blade's coming out. The flash from Aatrox, flash from Kennen to stay alive. Aatrox going hard there for the Kennen, and the electrocute damage is just so much so early. Kennen's actually going to have to recall here. Hopefully buy up, get tanky, try and stop some deeps. It looks like he's going to get a Dark Seal and just head right back into lane looking for a bit of damage. Uses that teleport. Aatrox doing the same. Going to go ahead and recall and look to use that teleport. Olaf actually only grabbed the Gromp here and left the blue buff up for Camille. Was afraid that Aatrox could come down. Aatrox is very strong early. We actually see Aatrox. He thinks this is going to be a farm fest, so he went ahead and bought himself a coal to try and get the chunk of gold after his 100 CS from the coal. As we look through the lanes here, we can see the CS leads and the CFs, nothing really to note, nothing too notable here. Just a couple CS here and there. Bot lane doing well. Rakan is actually roaming. It looks like he might be looking for something mid. I don't believe he's going to get spotted out by that pink ward, but he puts a pink ward of his own down into that pixel bush. And we see this Lucian just soaking up solo XP. Lucian hits level 4. Cloud Team's bot lane going to hit level 4. Lucian's going to jump in there, go for the passive, misses the Winter's Bite. The Grand Entrance coming out from Rakan here. The Unbreakable goes up. Not much damage to be found, but a little bit of trade damage coming back from Xayah onto Lucian with those feathers. Gonna look for the recall on those feathers. Didn't find anything. The double daggers goes out. Again, a little bit of poke damage. The recall doesn't find the root, but it does find a little bit of poke damage. And Camille's up in the jungle, and she is trying to punish this Olaf for getting that early kill on her. She's going to go ahead and rotate mid here, walk over that pink ward. But it looks like she doesn't care. The hookshot comes out, the flash away from LeBlanc. LeBlanc gets her passive popped here. Olaf is here. The ignite coming out from LeBlanc. The reckless swing. Olaf does pick up that kill. Hits Camille with an undertow, but she is going to make it out alive. Big damage coming out from the electrocute on LeBlanc and the reckless swing from that Olaf there. It looked like he wanted to trade that kill or give that kill on over to LeBlanc, but she said, just take it. It's going to be very strong on you, brother. The taunt comes out. The Winds of War and the Justice Punch there. Getting a little bit of damage onto that LeBlanc, but she is safe. She's going to go ahead and just walk out of lane, recall, and make her way back down, while Olaf here is going to go ahead and soak up that XP and cover mid lane for her. Taunt coming out. The Justice Punch there. Winds of War poking down damage. A lot of damage coming out from this Galio early. The two Doran blades are really allowing this Galio to be very efficient with his poke. And we see the damage coming out, almost killing LeBlanc, causing her to recall. And then same thing, almost killing Olaf here. He's going to go heal it up, fortunately, in the jungle, so we don't have to worry about that. But is something to note, absolutely, that this Galio he's already started to do some damage, and he's going to be scary the later this game goes on. Couple Darken Blades coming out, just pushing the wave here. Aatrox looking for a recall. He does still have his teleport, actually. Maybe he's looking for a play. He's going to go ahead and stay in that top lane. Olaf wandering around. Going to clear some vision here down on the bot side. Rakan as well, doing his fair share of roaming just to help clear some vision and hopefully find a play. The undertow comes out, does not find Camille. Camille does have vision. LeBlanc distorts in, does not find the chains, unfortunately. So they're just going to go ahead and back on out of there. And blue team's going to pick that finger. Grand Entrance coming in, the undertow to slow. Galio coming in with the ultimate, the hero's entrance. The taunt coming out onto Olaf. It didn't matter, wasn't needed. Xayah picks up the kill there onto Olaf. And that's going to give Xayah a nice little, not necessarily a lead, but bring her back in the game. Down 20 CS, but up 1 kill. That definitely helps when you're in that deficit. Rakan is only level 4. He's doing a lot of roaming, and it may hurt them in the long run. He needs to hit that level 6 for the quickness ultimate. That charm is going to be absolutely devastating in engages used with the Grand Entrance here. Both junglers just headed back top side, going to clear up some wards. Some damage coming out onto Ken, and Ken is just going to back up, and he's just going to clear these minions under the turret. Galio did recall after that, able to pick up boots and a mana crystal, looking like he's going for an early Rod of Ages. The Darkened Blade comes out, the slicing Maelstrom to stun Aatrox up. Finally, World's Ender comes out. Flashes on both top laners. Olaf is here, gonna pop that ultimate, and I don't think he's gonna make it out of here. Camille actually shows up, hits a tactical sweep, uses a Hextech ultimatum onto that Ken, and manages to trade a kill here, and then hook shot to safety. Olaf on top of her with that flash. The blast cone did not help. It brought Olaf with her. Galio just a little late, did not have the ultimate there, and it looks like he might be traded as well. The Mimic on the chains locks down that Galio. In bot lane, the Grand Entrance, the Featherstorm to dodge the Grand Entrance. Big damage from the Culling coming out, but Braum finishes Lucian, and Xayah is able to pick up the other half of her duo, Rakan. Absolute massacre. Kills in the top lane, kills in the bot lane. LeBlanc 2-0, very dangerous. That is not where you want to see those kills going. Olaf 3-1, he is going to be an absolute menace. Just being able to run through your front line with that Ragnarok, get to that Xayah, get to that 80 carry, even though she's got that Feather Storm. The no CC, no roots onto that Olaf is going to be huge. Predator in, get big damage down. Olaf here in the jungle just clearing some vision. Again, you can see that the bot side is heavily controlled there as that ward falls off, but heavily controlled by the red team. And then vice versa, you've got that top side controlled by the blue team. Blue team Camille is absolute. Obese Panda definitely doing a better job of getting those scuttle crabs. The Infernal Chains coming out to stop Kennen's engage there. Aatrox with a quick buy of the Merc Treads to stop some of that damage coming out from that Kennen. He is going to be absolutely devastating in team fights. I'm looking forward to seeing the team fights on top of the alts on top of alts here in these team fights. Again, just a little poke damage. Camille shows herself mid, just trying to let LeBlanc know that if Galio needs it, she is there. The Winter's Bite comes out, but the grand entrance to dash away here. Olaf picking up that Drake, and they're going to look for the engage. The Winter's Bite slows Lucian down, and that might just be enough for them to want to back off after that one. Zaya going to go ahead and push this wave out. Rakan and Lucian going to go ahead and reset there. We've got Camille down here. Both junglers down here on the bot side, so they definitely can make a play. And Galio does have that ultimate, so if anything was to happen, Galio can make that hero's entrance here. Kennen doing some big damage up top. We must have missed that to that Aatrox. While all the commotion was in the bot lane, the Mountain Drake going over to red team here. Kennen pushing Aatrox out of lane. Aatrox does not have teleport, so he will be walking back. Fortunately, he does have the Umbral Dash just to kind of help him get back into lane. Kind of going to go ahead back off recall, and he actually has a 12 CS lead here. 2 assists on the Kennen over Aatrox. And he goes back. He starts to build his Seeker's Arm Guard here, starts to build his Zhonya's, and quickly turns it around. He's looking to build, it looks like that Hextech Proto Belt, just to be able to get those solid engages, not necessarily relying on the flash every time. Camille early with the Tiamat. The grand entrance flash over coming out from Rakan there. The Justice Punch, though, did a heap of damage to that Rakan and actually made him jump out back to that LeBlanc. They get a good amount of damage down, but do not find the kill. And that's just a couple summoners wasted. This Galio is just going to go ahead and teleport, or go ahead and recall to the base, and then teleport right on back into this lane. No harm, no foul there. Bot lane actually manages to take first turret after pushing down this Rakan roaming, not finding anything mid, being heavily punished by losing first turret on the bot side. We see Olaf wanting to make a play, popping that Predator, but can not find anything. Blue team knew absolutely what was going on, and they decided to run back to that turret and get on out of dodge there. So again, we see that Aatrox going back to the base. After bot lane takes that bot turret, they're going to go ahead and switch up to the top lane and start working down that top turret. Hopefully save Kennen from taking it. Aatrox does have the teleport. So if there is a fight over the Rift Herald, if there is a fight over the Baron, and for whatever reason he is bot lane, he does have that teleport available to help secure that objective for his team. Kennen going to go ahead and recall here, and I would imagine he will start to head down, and actually he stops his recall. I think he knows Zaya is alone here, and I think they have vision on blue team doing this Rift Herald. Kennen might be looking for a kill here onto Zaya if she keeps pushing. Zaya's actually going to rotate down, and this might just be a free Rift Herald. I don't know if they're going to engage on this. Galio sitting right here in Pixel Bush, just making sure nobody gets close, and that is just an uncontested Pixel Bush. 4 members, or I apologize, an uncontested grand entrance comes in onto the Galio. Big damage coming out from the Kennen there. Kennen using the slicing maelstrom, the Hextech ultimatum. Kennen ends up picking up the kill onto Galio, but traded quickly by the Camille. Camille then quick to follow by the Lucian. And LeBlanc picks up another one. That is a 4-for-1 trade. Although blue team did pick up the Rift Herald, they were not healthy enough to fight after that. That Rakan engage, I was talking about, him being a low level earlier, but he is caught up now, level 7. He has the quickness. He has the grand entrance, and that's really all you need here. We want to see that Rakan getting nice and tanky. He's got those ninja tabbies, and he's just gonna get in, do what he can, and get on out and let his team do the rest of the work here. LeBlanc jumps in 2v1. Although Braum passive was on, she was absolutely fearless and blows up that Xayah. Xayah did not have ult and had no way of getting out of there. Wow, this LeBlanc is really taking off. 10 stacks on that Dark Seal. She goes back to buy her Luden's Echo. Buys that Blasting Wand. She's got her Sork shoes. And Team Cloud's really going to have to figure this one out. 2 pink wards in here for Braum. He's going to get himself a nice little cash stack coming off of these pink wards. The LeBlanc is just so strong. Fortunately, Galio's going to keep building tanky, and he's going to be that front line that they need. But it might not be enough if this LeBlanc is able to get backline and blow up that Xayah. Unfortunately, there she didn't have the Feather Storm, so she was unable to escape the damage from LeBlanc. We're definitely hoping to see that Feather Storm be the saving grace for this Xayah when that LeBlanc is jumping in. As we said, 10 stacks on that Dark Seal. That is an incredible amount of damage there coming from that item. The Hextech Ultimatum coming out onto Rakan. The Precise Protocol, the Hero's Entrance on top of it, but Lucian is able to pick up that Camille. Galio does find the Rakan that they desperately engaged on. The Featherstorm coming out, not finding any targets. It looks like they're just gonna skate on out of here, but LeBlanc manages to pick up Xayah with what looked like the Luden's Echo proc. She flashes in, she drops the chains, the Sigil of Malice, and they're gonna pick up Galio as well. The auto attack coming out from Kennen, absolutely destroyed in that fight. Obese Panda on the Camille with that engage. They get the Hextech Ultimatum down onto that Lucian, or I apologize, onto that Rakan. The Galio ult to follow, but immediately Camille dies. And then shortly after, Galio does pick up the Rakan, but from that point, it's just a turn. The World Ender coming out here, the chains to lock up Aatrox. Aatrox's ult does get popped. It's a 4v1 here, and there is not much hope for him. The kill going over to Prismal on this Lucian, and he is getting big. 6-0-5 on that LeBlanc, 3-2-4 on that Lucian, 3-1-9 on that Olaf, and the 4K gold lead. The chains coming out onto the Camille. Camille does have to flash away to avoid dying because Olaf was shortly behind. Kennen coming in the hookshot to get over the wall. Not able to find anything here, but a lot blown. That ultimate, or that flash from the Camille. She is not going to have that flash hookshot, which definitely takes away from their engage here in the next few fights. They're going to have to stall that out and wait for that flash to come up, so that way she is able to get, or have a better chance of getting that flash hookshot onto a priority target. 7 kills to 15 with the gold lead in favor of Team Mountain. They've got both Drakes that have been on the map so far. We've got Baron spawning in 1 minute and 55 seconds, and that is going to be the next objective that these teams are going to be looking to take here. LeBlanc goes in onto the 2v1 again. She does just distort away to safety, but able to get a nice chunk of damage onto Xayah, but not before almost getting killed herself. Didn't get the electrocute off, not getting as much damage as she would like, hoping for that kill, but Braum being right there with Xayah, able to help her out, keep her alive, and cause that LeBlanc to have to back on out. We see here Braum jumps in, tries to get the Winter's Bite onto the Kennen, doesn't find anything, and Rakan might find himself in a bad spot here. He is 1v1 against that Aatrox. The Infernal Change does not find its mark. Aatrox just going to pick up that pink ward and get on out of there. And Galio is going to push down the top lane. LeBlanc is in the wakes here. Big damage coming out. The electrocute, the chains, all of the damage coming out onto Camille. The Sigil of Malice coming out onto Galio. Olaf has Predator jumped in. He's going to look for, he drops the Undertow. He's going to look for the Reckless Swings. He doesn't find it. The Undertow snipe does pick up Camille there. The Justice Punch, the Winds of War, not going to be enough. And Olaf picks himself up a double kill with the help of his best pal LeBlanc here. 6-0-7 on that LeBlanc. Absolute domination coming from that mid lane jungle duo there. Killing off the mid lane and jungle from Team Cloud. Both ultimates not used, unfortunately. I don't think it would have saved them even if that were the case. And they were able to get those off. See, blue team just going to take that tier 2 top lane. The inner turret is now down. And they might start turning their focus into this Baron. They do have the Mountain Drake. Baron is up in 5 seconds. And they know they have the damage. They know they can get the easy pick. They know with LeBlanc being 6-0, now has the Morellonomicon. They know that this is going to be a simple pick from that LeBlanc, getting big damage down, and then hopefully being able to take that Baron shortly after. They do get spotted out by that Scryer's Bloom, but LeBlanc is still hungry for it. Gonna go ahead and sweep through the jungle there. She's looking for the kill onto Camille. Big damage coming down, but does not find the chains onto Camille. Instead, onto Galio. Picks up the big wolf there. And Camille, they might just go for the Baron here. After getting half health, Camille might have to recall her. She won't be healthy enough to fight for this Baron. And blue team is looking for a possible objective trade. They do not have any vision on that Baron, but they have an idea, and that is all they need to go over there and check that out. They're going to go ahead and take a look for themselves to see what's going on. LeBlanc is in the wakes. The slicing maelstrom coming out from Kennen. Not finding anything. The Galio out coming out onto Xayah. Does keep her alive shortly, but it does fall to LeBlanc. Immediately after, LeBlanc then picks up the kill onto Braum. Olaf staying alive and getting saved by that Lucian, picking up that Aatrox kill. And then Kennen picking up Camille shortly after. And then red team, Team Mountain, turn their eyes back to the Baron. A nice little Baron bait. Team Cloud did not have any vision of this Baron pit, so as soon as they start stepping up, Team Mountain can just turn around and go ahead and get that engaged. The slicing maelstrom, the grand entrance, it's all just so powerful. And to top it all off, you've got the 8-0-7 LeBlanc just doing whatever she wants. Picks up a double kill in that fight. Absolutely devastating there. And now we're looking at almost a 10k gold lead. 4 turrets to 2. 7 kills to 21 in favor of Team Mountain. Next Drake is coming up. It is going to be Infernal here in the next 30 seconds. They're probably going to turn their eyes towards that after pushing down some Baron minions into this mid lane. And unfortunately, they just seem unstoppable. 5-1-11, Olaf building a BF sword here. The 8-0-7 LeBlanc just so beefy, so tanky, and so strong. Kennen with the slicing maelstrom, 9 stacks on the Dark Seal. You really hate to see it, but with this Baron buff, Team Mountain is just going to be able to march down every single lane here. They're going to take all of the outer turrets, rotating here over to bot outer. And they might even push towards the inhib here. Trying to get the damage. The taunt comes out onto LeBlanc. LeBlanc does not find any damage onto that Galio. That Galio is actually starting to become a reliable frontline. LeBlanc again distorts in. Finds the chains onto Galio. Does not find the stun there. The culling comes out. The slicing maelstrom going in. Hextech ultimatum comes out, but it is not enough. Unstoppable comes out. The Zonya's on the Olaf to keep himself alive. And Lucian, relentless pursuit, jumping in, trying to find a kill on that Braum. Doesn't find it. But they just find 2 for none. Not very healthy after that fight. So they're just going to go ahead and take that inhib and back out of here. Find that dragon on the way out. And then they're slowly going to work their way down again. They're going to pick up this Infernal Drake. The rest of the team's going to recall here. Kennen did start that teleport down bot lane after recalling. But the team called it off. Said, hey, let's take a reset. Let's back up. Although we are ahead, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're going to play this smart and we're going to get this win here. So after they take that Infernal Drake, now an Infernal, a Wind, and a Cloud Drake, and a 12k gold lead to top it all off. Team Mountain is going to go ahead, farm up their jungle, grab the experience, grab the gold, and then slowly start to look to push down these lanes again. Kennen got the empowered minions up in the top lane. Gonna go ahead and push these down into that Aatrox. Unfortunately, Aatrox is at a 3-level deficit, and there is not much he can do against this Kennen and his Baron empowered pals. Kennen pushing down top lane. 4 here, rotating towards mid. Galio trying to stop those supers from pushing into the base on the bot side. Zaya's gonna go ahead and push out this lane, or this wave top lane, and try and keep this Kennen at bay, while the rest of Team Mountain just takes mid. Unfortunately, there's nothing they can do. They've got the Baron empowered cannon minion just sitting in the back, sniping this turret down. The Culling comes out just to back off Team Cloud, trying to get some damage down. It looks like they're going to get another inhibitor here and another inhib turret. Third inhib coming shortly after. All 3 inhibs are now down. And Team Mountain is looking to close this game out. There is one final fight in the making. Kennen Hextech Portal Belts in, does not find anything afterwards. The Hextech Ultimatum comes out onto LeBlanc. The hero's entrance coming in, but the slicing Maelstrom and the damage from Lucian is just too much. Zaya does find the kill onto the Kennen here, though. The GA getting popped on Olaf, the ult getting popped on Aatrox. Lucian still full health here, picking off his enemies. He is playing with his food here. Braum back to base. Aatrox or Galio running up into that top lane, trying to just get out of dodge. Cannot heal up. LeBlanc jumping in. Lucian finds the kill. Both Nexus turrets down. The last ditch effort coming out from Braum. The grand entrance misses its target, but Lucian does not care. He's going to go for the end of the game. Darkened Blade, not enough to stop him. And Lucian picks up the double and finishes the Nexus. Team Mountain take the win. GG Team Mountain.